Your dad.
Heidi ho, everybody! John, good to see you back now that tax season's winding down or wound down. JB, good to see you. Anthony, always a pleasure. I already said hi to Lee and John, Mystic John, Ethan, Lynn. All right, and I said hi to 3Dub. I don't know if he was if he even showed up. John, you may have Mystic John. You may have been number one. My comment, my original comment, was just in anticipation of him being number one. So anyway. All right. Let me bring the co-host on up.
Good morning, everybody. Yes, we need to rename this the John Show.
Yeah. The SJJ and J Show.
Yeah. Usually we have a few Steves also.
Thank you, John. Appreciate the audio check, as always.
Morning, John.
All right.
And I can say that for about, what, 4 of you now?
Yeah. There's almost as many Steves hanging around out there in our community. Not quite as many as John.
It looks like we're almost color coordinated.
I forgot about JB. Yeah, semi-retired my Blame Heat shirt. So instead, ta-da!
Okay. Yeah, I just wore my U.S. Army shirt. So.
Yeah. Oh, and there's the cat.
Yeah. He's a pest. So my daughter's cat, and then my cat, then my wife's cat. Now it's my cat. Of course, all the animals are mine now.
As I was telling John in pre-show chat, I don't have any mail calls. He does, that we'll get to here in a bit. But I did get with Caboose Hobbies and found out I now have enough to actually ship.
Cool.
And John asked me, well, when was the last shipment? December. I just haven't seen a bunch of stuff I either wanted or needed. So it's been, I get a vehicle here and a vehicle there, and most of it's vehicle stuff. There is a DC Burlington locomotive, a blue box, but I'm not sure. I don't remember which one. I remember bidding, if that's what you want to call it, and getting it, but I don't remember whether it was a Blackbird scheme or a Chinese red and gray scheme, or what the deal was. I know it was not an E unit or E or F unit. So I thought I had a crane, but when I talked to Keith yesterday up there in Cedar Falls, he didn't seem to think I had the crane. So anyway, I could have used the crane. I was going to use it to put a AC unit on it and have it lifting up an AC unit to one of the background buildings back there. Because all those background buildings were, I modeled roughly 1968. And AC still wasn't prevalent in Chicago at that point in time. So, you go to some of the older hotels, you still see signs that said AC available, air conditioned. Nowadays, nobody says that because it's expected.
Well, I know even in Florida, the house that we had, we bought it in 1970, and it didn't have central air. It had an old oil-burning heater for the wintertime and Jealousy windows and Miami windows, and that was it. You opened up the windows and put a fan in it,
Yeah, well, you were closer to the coast, though, too.
Well, yeah, we usually had some kind of breeze, which
And
would help, but
we didn't get central air in our house till around 1972, somewhere, maybe even later than that. But
well, we got a big wall unit in probably 76.
we
So,
back in the mid '60s, Dad got a window unit and put it down in the basement. So in the hot summer times, we would sleep down in the basement on the cool concrete or tile floor.
well, I'm glad you finally got out of the basement.
And then helicopters with a skyhook really weren't prevalent in '67, '68. That's how we in '86. That's how we put ventilation units onto a new distribution center because they didn't get the ventilation systems there when the building was going up and could get a crane to it. So they had to use a helicopter and lift them up. So, I've only seen one movie that actually showed the right process, and it was dealing with people, putting a person down. It was Hunt for Red October when they're putting Alec Baldwin as Jack Ryan down onto the USS Dallas, and they got to ground that person coming down or the hook. Otherwise, they're going to get zapped and knocked on their ass. So, a lot of times you see all this stuff with helicopters and the static electricity that they generate with those blades going around will really knock you on your ass. So, anyway, that's your there. That's another one of my Cliff-Haven fun facts of the day.
Uh-huh. So what's Lynn asking about?
Helicopter.
Oh. No, Lynn was talking about his one.
Oh, pushing it up the ramp?
Yeah. Yeah, with a bunch of mini Prince people.
They don't push it. They don't build a 5-story ramp to push.
Oh, come on. The Egyptians did that to build the pyramids, right?
Yeah. Yeah, in 1200 BC or whenever they were made.
Or maybe 2000 BC. Who knows?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
They're built over centuries. So I used to know all that stuff when I was an architect major.
Yeah. So what's everybody else doing today?
Looks like everybody's being lazy. Like the Egyptians. Walk like an Egyptian. Hey, Joe. Welcome. Been a while. Hey, Lee, don't forget to send me the link for Sunday. I don't currently have any. My wife has not roped me into any current obligations. Let's put it that way. Hey, Ray Ron. Cool. Great. Thanks, Lee. Don't know what I'm going to work on yet. I got all kinds of stuff. Last week I asked, well, what should I do next? And we got started in that discussion and never came to a conclusion. So instead, I went ahead and started on what I thought was going to be a 2-week project, and I finished it yesterday. And that's the DPM kit. The Empty Arms, get it? Hotel. So, and it's been a fun project, as John knows, because I've shared a lot of details. Tuesday, you don't want to miss Tuesday's premiere, or at least watch the rerun. I guarantee it'll be entertaining.
I'm sure of that, Steve. I've just been painting more buildings. So it's a little 2-story storefront.
Yeah, I can't
Working
wait to
on
get
that.
those. By
It's
the way,
in,
anybody that I have those flats, the files I use to make flats from that we had the contest for last week. Anybody that wants those, just email me. I'll send you the flat. And you can make them yourself. A little adhesive, all right, and some foam core, and you got yourself a background flat. And likewise, I have one for this as well. And I can put that up, maybe not. Let's go here, and then I can go here, and I can go here. Oopsie. There you go. Yeah, although it's not the Downers Grove turntable, that's the normal camera I use for that. There we go. The MT Arms. Oh, who's texting me now? Yeah, Lynn, I saw that Minehead that you did. What was it on? Crew Cab Wednesday? Let me see if I can pull it down. What do I want to do? What do I want to do here? And I want to go here, over there, over here. I want to save that there. Pick up the Minehead, either that or choline, I don't know. So what I'll do now is do this. And there's the picture that Lynn just sent me. I know you were working on the pulleys and everything to raise and lower the cab, so that's cool. Okay, Minehead. Okay, I had it right. Cool. All right. Now we can go back to this one. And go back to this one. There we go. Got it working, sort of. Isn't that one of those things that it either works or it doesn't work? You sound like my wife, Lynn. I'll ask her a yes or no question. She goes into a 20-minute dissertation, and then I finally end up saying, okay, is it a yes or is it a no? Then she gets pissed. Hey, Kyle, happy birthday, by the way. I saw that. I was going to comment, wish you happy birthday. What was he? Wednesday, I guess it was. Because you got the same birthday as Carol at Caboose Stop, and somebody else I know. Oh, one of my bourbon drinking friends up in Kentucky. So happy birthday to you. Hope it was a good one. Yeah, Joe. 1978 would have been in a van. Definitely would have been shag carpet time. I had a buddy that paneled out his van and put shag carpet in. It was cool at the time. Some kind of guild or guide. You need a guide. What you need is rails on the sides with little pieces of channel that ride up and down on the rail. See how easy that is? Right, John? You're muted, John. At least I can't hear you. That'll be cool, Joe. Wood with burnt edges. Yeah. Nothing. Do you know sign language, John? Yeah. You got to unmute yourself, John.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Guess not.
Yeah, no, I hear you. John, yes, we can hear you. Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
I can't hear you, so...
Well, hold the mic from one set and the ear of the other set.
How about
now? Yeah, we can hear you. Yes, we can hear you.
I can't hear you, though.
Well, yeah, because for whatever reason, check your microphone, check your speaker settings. Hello. Okay, so why? You were fine, John, and then all of a sudden you cut out. What did you do? Of course, he can't hear me to answer.
Hello.
He's probably muted.
Speaker.
He's probably turned his volume off.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I don't know what the problem is.
Operator error.
I don't know, Steve. I'm checking all my settings. Read chat. Yes. I've checked my volumes. Checked my speakers. Checked the headphones.
Well, just read the chat.
I get sound through them, so I don't know why I'm not putting it out. I checked the settings on the StreamYard too, so. I think I'm going to go out of it, Steve, and come back in. I'll be back.
Poof. Yeah, the problem, Bernard, is he can't hear me. Not that he needs to, really. Yeah, Kyle, we could blame Heath, but, it does seem kind of suspicious that it coincided with your arrival. All right, I'm going to bring him back in.
I hear you now. Can you hear me?
What?
Can you hear me?
Huh? No, yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay. That's just it. I had to switch. I had to go out and
Thanks,
come back
Joe.
in when I changed the headphones. I don't know what went wrong with those other ones. They were working fine. It's just like Steve and his trains. They work fine when he's not online, but
typically with what was happening, you heard us on one, and your mic worked on one, your speakers worked on the other. So it was just some kind of setting that you had off. You had mic set for one, and your speakers were set for the other.
Yeah.
Headset, yeah.
Well, I did go into the StreamYard settings and made sure it was correct.
Yeah. Well, Bernard, I picked a bad day to quit smoking. No, I quit 5 years ago.
Roger. Oh, Bernard, how are you today?
You ever been in a Turkish song?
No.
No. With Roger. The best scene in that movie is the autopilot, Julie Haggerty.
Yeah.
And then the blow-up doll smoking a cigarette. Good one, Bernard. Oh. So anyway, what should I work on next, John? Huh? What should I?
Well,
what should I?
Well, what do you? You don't have
What are the options?
Yeah.
Well, I got all kinds of options. The obvious options are the L platform, more background buildings back over there, not flats, but kit patches. The train sheds, the glass train sheds. I still have Downers Grove, which is in front of me, that sits in over my workbench. I have a lot of other projects, like redoing all three of my trolleys, repainting all of them into CTA colors, which is a cream upper and green lower. I made the decals for them already.
Okay. Did you coat your decals with Dull Coat?
I did.
Okay.
Well, actually, here's the deal. All right, depending on who you talk to, some people say use gloss, some people will say use Dull Coat, and here's the world according to Childers. If you are decaling like a commercial decal, those are going to be sealed with a gloss finish. So you really need to paint your surface gloss so that they match up. Once the decal is applied, dried, etc., then you can put Dull Coat and seal them in. But if you're making custom decals and you're using a matte finish, you do not want to apply gloss to the surface. You want to just see it, because you got a matte finish on your decal as a sealant, and you want to match up. You put the decal on, and you come back and fill in with the Dull Coat again. Now on the MTRs, as you'll see in my Tuesday premiere, I had decals that had to go on the windows, which is a gloss, so I had to do those I had to do those decals and seal those with a gloss finish. And I forgot the rule according to Childers for this. And originally made them in matte and put them on the windows and they looked like crap. So I came back, sealed them, and redid them, sealed them in the gloss, and they were fine. And they actually look pretty cool at night. And then the MT arms across the top of the building, that goes on a matte finish. So those were sealed with a matte finish.
That would be interesting to build a cow catcher for your van. For your real van or for your model van?
No, he's talking about the real van.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That could help get people out of the way. That'd sure save us with the number of deer that are up here.
I could help you thin that down, you know. My son and I could come out and thin your herd down.
Yeah, well, I got one guy that hunts here already. I'm going to hunt next season. I've got more area cleared out, so more hunting space. And the deer are still out there. So every time I go out there now, I scare one away with my Kubota. But I see them, and I saw the flock of turkey out there too.
Oh, turkey's the most fun to hunt because it's interactive because you got to talk to them
and
you got to call them out.
They're very smart and have great eyesight.
Well, I would not say they're smart. Turkeys is one of the dumbest animals I've ever seen.
Well,
especially the domesticated ones, they'll congregate together in a rainstorm and all of them look up and then drown.
That's what my chickens try to do.
So I wouldn't say that they're. All right, Kyle, you take care. I've gone bow target hunting with bow and it's fine, but as far as hunting, that what didn't appeal to me.
Well, I do have a mail call if you want me to go.
I was just going to say, why don't you show us what you got?
Well, I got another eBay find, and it's starting to get pretty rare. And, you know, eBay, as Stephen and I was talking earlier, it's just not the deals that they used to be. And it is getting harder to find things. And, of course, eBay's put tax on everybody now. So, you know, even doing your mail ordering, you still have to pay state tax. And I have a 9.5% state tax here. So it's getting a little rougher.
But no income tax.
No state income tax, just like Florida. But I found me another GP7. It's Chicago and Eastern Illinois. It's number 204. This is about the fifth one I have that was 204. So, of course, I'll have to change the road numbers on it. But it's pretty nice. It's never been used other than on a test track. So cool. It's in excellent condition, no wear on the wheels. But I paid a lot more for it than I used to. This one with tax and shipping was $142.
DC or DCC?
It's DCC ready. Supposed to be.
Yeah, that's definitely not the deal of yesteryear.
No, and now I'm still waiting on my two Atlas Classic Silver Edition GP7s. Still can't get any word from Atlas when they'll actually be in. They were supposed to be in the first quarter of the year, and we're already into the second quarter.
It's kind of like my Rapido E8 that took me over 2 years to get. But I got it.
Yeah. Well, I'm waiting on these two because they're actually both numbers that I haven't changed any of my GP7s to.
Yeah,
So let's see. I've
I
got
love that comment, Bernard. Kamikaze antelope.
yeah. You could use them for the antelope too.
I think a
But
car would lose in that battle.
but about a month ago, I showed the new decals that I got from K4 Decals. That has the colored CNEI emblems,
Uh huh.
um, and it also comes with the large numbers for the cold tenders and the small numbers for the cabs. So at least I have some more numbers to use, and got to get going on them.
Oh, Joe, the hat is the Cumbres and Toltec uh, Scenic Railroad. That's where I got the hat. So you got Colorado and New Mexico flags.
Yeah, try painting them on your engines.
Yeah, we never.
Uh, yeah, it's we're supposed to have some weather come through tonight, and we're supposed to have frost again Saturday night. Glad I didn't
So
plant my garden.
you don't keep a just a motor control chip that you can plug into those DCC readies to test them out? John?
Oh, me? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, you.
I've still got a few chips laying around, but I don't have any 21 pin, and supposedly
Was
this is
that?
21 pin, but I doubt it is, because none of my other ones have been. Um,
It's probably the 9 pin to a 21 pin or something like that.
yeah, either that or the 8 pin. Um, I don't know. I haven't even taken it apart yet. I have taken it out of the box, but I haven't taken it apart
Whew.
because I hate undoing these handrails too many times because I tend to always break them there at the cab. So I will probably wait to do that. But
You know,
it's
when we went to ride the Cumbres and Toltec, we started on the Antonito side in Colorado instead of Chama, New Mexico. And you arrive in Antonito, and I mean, it's depressing. This town is, up in the high plains and run down. Um, it just, and I'm looking at the landscape around, and it's scrub. It just wasn't very scenic. And I'm going, well, what have we got ourselves into on this? Somebody told me this is better than Silverton and Durango. Well, once you get going and start the climb, right, it takes you across the scrub, and you start to climb, and all of a sudden you're into some trees and alpine looking areas, and it's gorgeous. So
well, I just got it actually came with the paperwork, which I had other ones, but I like when it comes with its paperwork. It looks like it just has a light board and it looks like it's got a socket for an 8 pin.
see, I told you.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll have to.
Almost all of them are going to have. Almost all of them are going to have uh, NMRA 8 pin socket, and then you put like a decoder buddy that moves it over, moves it over to a 21 pin, and so that you have all the extra functions.
Yeah, I don't really need all the extra functions. I usually don't put in real high end decoders in my engines just because, well, I'm poor now because I don't work, and it's hard to come up with the extra dollars to do everything I need to do during a month. So,
Right.
um, but I have found some of those cheaper decoders. Yeah, I know why they're cheap because they don't last long. Um, but supposedly my two new GP7s are supposed to come with 21 pin decoders in them, for what it says on the website. Which those will be my first 21 pin decoders.
Yeah, I got a Lopeson 5 or whatever it is in the Rapido. And I mean, it's got functions out the gazoo, more functions than I use. All right. Um, yeah. And the funny thing is, how often do people use all the different functions?
Yeah, like wheel squeal and brake sounds and you know.
Yeah. Uh, Blow down, sanding noise, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. To me, if it's got a horn, short horn, and crossing horn,
And
bell,
bells. Yeah.
and typically for me, 3 lighting functions. Uh, 2 headlights, one of which I use for a cab light as well, and then a reverse light. Back in the day, now the Rapido, it's got class lights, and it's got truck, clearance lights. I mean, it's phenomenal, all the stuff it has. But do I use it all? No. If I have my Mars light, I'm happy on an E8, or that one's an E9 technically.
And Joe, most of the steam engines are pretty easy to install your decoder chip in. Of course, it goes in the tender.
Yep,
Um,
yep.
and there's usually room in there. I've had some that, depending on the actual decoder you put in there, they can be a little tight if you're going to want to put the speaker in there. You just have to watch, what speaker you put in them. Now, some of the BLIs come with that preset round speaker cavity in the bottom of the tender, uh,
Yep.
which is usually a little easier to install. It has a DCC already. You just want sound. Guess that's what he's talking about.
Well, it may already have sound, but we're talking about what functions we want. Whether we may already have, but what ones do we really want or need? I think he's just saying he loves the chuff chuff sound. So, he needs to get a soundboard.
Okay. That answers that question. That's why you can't get the chuffing sound.
I was looking. I'm getting ready to embark on another project. Just what I need, right?
Another.
Yeah. I need some 4mm OD brass tubing. And the reason being, I'm going to make light kits for my passenger trains.
Okay.
And the way I'm going to do the power pickups are put tubing on the metal axle of the wheels with the wire attached to that tubing. Okay. Up through a large enough hole that it can still pivot fine. And do it on all 4 axles, or all 6 axles for the heavyweights.
Now, is that going to create a lot of drag since it's a tube all the way around it?
It's better than a wiper.
Okay.
I sprayed a little graphite in that gap inside the tube, and it'll make contact because it's not going to free float. But having it on both axles, one side is one rail side pickup, the other side is the other rail pickup, and then you merge the wires together and run it through a bridge rectifier to a keep alive or capacitor pack, and before you put it on some stripped LEDs, or so the plan is.
I don't think I had seen somebody using tubes yet. So yours will be the first one I've seen using tubes
Yeah,
on the
once
act.
I get around to doing it.
Yeah, well, so we all have a lot of things to do that we seem to never get done, and
Well, I don't get in a hurry on these types of first time projects because I want to think them through.
hmm
I got to get bridge rectifier. First of all, I got to find out what bridge rectifier I need. I need to get the strip, of lights. And while I'm doing it, do I want to put interiors in at the same time, or do I want to come back and do the interiors later? So that could be problematic too. But
yeah,
I think per car, interiors run what, $10 a car?
depending on the car, yeah,
In Athearn, car.
yeah.
And I mean, the tubing is next to nothing. Bridge rectifiers are next to nothing. Lighting's pretty much next to nothing. So I mean, I'd probably do the whole thing interior and all for $20 a car, maybe.
Yeah,
And
and
with 7 cars per train,
then you need 25 to 30 people to put in that passenger car.
yeah, well, it takes more than that. Trust me. It takes a lot more than that. I went through, what did I say, 250 for my 4 bi-level commuter cars. And now I got that other Rock Island commuter car I'm going to have to buy more people for, too. Oh, well.
And see, I don't have many passenger cars at all, but as
Hey,
Steve probably
Steve.
knows, Steve probably knows, mine are the old silver sides, that had the pressed aluminum sides, but everything else was basically wood on them. So I don't know that I could even put a interior in them anyway.
Yeah, those walls would be pretty thick, wouldn't they? With the wood
Yeah.
inside them.
Well, no, the walls aren't bad. It's the base of
Top
the
and bottom.
car. Yeah. Well, the top's solid, other than the contouring on the top. Let me grab one. It'll be a little easier to understand.
I had one passenger car like that years ago. So we need to all get on younger Steve and find out what this super secret project is for his mail call stuff that he wouldn't show. Hey, Michael. Back on the 1st, I almost sent you a bumper for the I think first anniversary of the bumper story. My April Fool's joke.
So this one hasn't been renamed or anything, but this is one of the
Right.
old silver sides. These sides are aluminum. The roof
Right.
is wood. The base is wood, and everything, all the
Hey,
attachments.
Jessica.
So there's not a lot of space in there to put an interior detail in. Plus, this is a baggage car, or mail
Yeah.
car. But I'll figure out something. Maybe I'll have to build my own little benches that will be the right height to set them in there.
If you hooked up your 3D printer, you could probably 3D print.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, there's a lot of
I
things.
agree with that, Michael.
Yeah, then I got to learn a program to design my 3D stuff, which you'd
That's the
think.
problem with 3D printer.
Well,
You
I
have to
used
design.
I used to do CAD, but that was back in Oh, probably 2012 is the last time I had it on my computer at work, and that's probably the last time I used it. So a lot of things have changed. A lot of the buttons are look alike, but I never did 3D CAD. I only did 2D CAD. So
Right.
there's a learning curve there. But
Exactly.
but yeah, I'm sure I could figure out something.
All right. So anyway, that the car interior is one project. At some point or another, I will tackle. Like everything else, I've got to build up and start, buying everything I need. So that,
Yeah, it's good to have it all on site to be able to do it when you want to or need to, and have all the parts. It's like
yep.
I set up to do some lighting in my cabooses. I've got
Uh-huh.
everything I needed, but then I couldn't find wipers because I guess the bronze was in short supply then, and no one had it, and I haven't gone back to look for it yet. But maybe if your tube idea works out, maybe I'll try the tubes. I'm sure 4 millimeter brass tubes easier to get than the bronze wipers.
The key
I
is
got
in my mind, the bridge rectifier and the capacitor. All right, where do you disappear to? Bernard, isn't Chasco in Florida? I thought, Chasco, aren't you in Florida?
sorry about that.
No
Dog
problem.
dogs were going crazy.
Ah,
I was one of these. I showed this, about a month ago when I got them from Zitniks. But I don't know what brand it is. I can't see any markings. But the
let me see the
couplers,
underside.
I always
Is
move it.
that, don't think I, all right, is that a brass?
No,
Is the truck snap on?
no, they screw on, but the couplers are solid.
Let me see
They
them.
they don't move at all. They'll pivot just a little bit, but the knuckle doesn't move at all. And I don't think I've
That
ever seen anything like that.
I had one old wood reefer. Really, I mean, it was wood with those type of couplers on. They're from like the 1950s.
Yeah, I guess it does have a metal bottom to it. So
But Bernard, you said, "Hey, Chasco and Michael McCarville is the snow at McCarville Studios." So I didn't. You confused me throwing Chasco in there. Or you're saying, "Hey, Chasco," like hi, and then Michael, is there still snow up there at McCarville Studios? Sometimes I'm anal retentive.
sometimes, what do you mean sometimes? More like all the time.
Oh, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, so am I. So we that's I guess why we get along so well because we're both about the same.
It's that engineering mentality.
Yeah, sure is. But after painting some of these buildings with a little tiny itsy bitsy brush, I have to say I don't know how Vinny does it with N scale. I
You
just
know, I did that on a few buildings, and I decided I'm not going to do that anymore. And what I did or started doing is like back here, and you can't see it, but on this City Classics, I just used a sponge and
yeah.
basically uh, dry brushed with the sponge
Mm-hmm.
little areas
A
with
brick.
different off colors of the brick I was using,
I
and
have done that also. And that's
and
another very good technique.
yeah, and it doesn't take near as long and looks just as good typically.
Yeah.
All right, we want to know what the secret build is, Steve. Yeah, Joe, I think they're the red. You're right. Red caboose couplers. So is this Steve? Is this part of a contest or something you're working on, or just for fun, or what's the inside skinny? You don't have to tell us what you're building, but you know, tell us why you're building it. The secret build.
Oh, I like secret builds. I'm trying to find the section of buildings that I've got ready for doing the.
Bernard, it doesn't take much to derail me. Don't worry about it.
I hate when I lose things, and I know they're right here.
Yeah, I looked for about 10 minutes for my glasses, and I had them sitting on the top of my head. My wife was talking to one of her friends on the phone, and all of a sudden she says, "Oh my God, I can't find my phone. Hang on." I started laughing. She goes, "What's so funny?" I said, "What's in your hand, honey?" Oh, it sucks getting old, doesn't it? There you go. Yeah.
there's what I do, and when you add the whitewash for the mortar,
All right, Bernard, you take care.
it
May
blends
has to do with May. Okay.
it tends to blend those bricks in, and you still see the shade coloring difference, but it's not as pronounced as it is when I first do it. But there's a lot of little bricks there I painted, and this isn't even a big building.
Don't forget to scan it.
As soon as I get it whitewashed, I'll scan it.
The okay. So Steve, it has to do with May. For me, May can mean Memorial Day. It can be Mother's Day. It can be my wife's birthday. It could be May Day, the communist holiday. Um, it can be Cinco de Mayo. So I'm not sure that's much of a hint. Are you building a tortilla factory for Cinco de Mayo?
Maybe.
And then your tortilla factory can ship tortillas to Heath at New York City.
Bernard, have a good day. Yeah, it's a shame when we actually have to do work. Um, my work's sort of winding down back in my woods because the ticks are out, and boy, are they heavy this year. Guess we weren't cold enough during the winter.
Huh.
But I don't have mosquitoes, Steve. Not a bit.
You will.
No, didn't have any last year. All summer. I mean, I heard one. I got 0 bites.
I get typically they don't bother me, but boy, they love to eat on my wife. So
Hmm.
suck her blood.
That's because she's sweeter than you are.
Absolutely, no
Yeah,
doubt in that.
but yeah, I got it looking pretty good. I know I've sent you some pictures, Steve. Been working my
Yeah,
tail off. Now I need to get working on my layout. Yeah, need to do that.
yes, you do.
But I am going to replace this light up here.
Uh
I'm
huh.
gonna re- I'm gonna replace that with an 8 foot LED for us light fixture, so I get better light in here. That's horrible light. It just doesn't do
You,
anything. And then maybe I'll put two strips down each wall,
you can
close to the
do like
wall.
I, you can get on Amazon and get 3 pair of dual lamp LED lights for shit next to nothing, and then you daisy chain them together.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, I have to
I
look
got
into
two
that.
sets of that. I've got 6 dual tube LED lights in here. I mean, you've been here; it's brighter than hell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Well, brighter than bright.
that's why I have all these little lamps set up around so I can see things.
Yeah, I had to put another little tube behind the my desk overhang for the farm
Hmm.
scene, and then I have a little desk light behind my monitor here to light up my work area
Yeah.
down here. So
Well, I've got like four desk lamps here to try to get enough light for me to work. Because those old eyes, they just need more light.
yeah, I mean, I'm always complaining I don't have enough light. So
Especially since I'm working with, painting such small things. Doing
yep,
figures is real difficult for me anymore. Even with my work goggles on, I found this old pair that was my father-in-law's, and it's good for just about everything. Uh, thing must be 30, 40 years old. Still works. He used to
there
be
you
a
go.
printer. He used to be a printer, so he'd use these setting up his printing machine. And of course, like the one I gave you, this is the upgraded version of that actually has two lenses that you can put in and really
Right.
magnifying things. And then it has the little drop down additional magnifier. So if you can't see it, then don't work on it.
No kidding. Well, I think my next project is going to be these.
Yeah, I'd love to see that your next project.
It'll be my first wood kit. Oh joy!
I think that will add a lot of character to that end of your street too.
Yeah, it most definitely will. And then I'll put the tracks that'll go on it will be hot. All right, and then I'll have a dummy streetcar on it with lights in it so that it'll light up when the lights come on. That's the plan anyway.
I'll just get another controller and have it going back and forth.
There's not enough room.
There's
There's
always enough,
only
Steve.
no. There's only 18 inches, and it takes 6 inches. You got to put the sensor at least 6 inches from the end because once it hits the sensor, it takes it'll run a little bit. Okay,
Mm.
so over 18 inches, it's only going to go back and forth 6 inches. No, I'm
Well,
not spending 100, not spending
cut a
$125 to have it go back and forth 6 inches.
cut a hole through your building and have it go out that back.
Well,
Yeah, sure.
go out the back. That
Yeah.
back is a bridge.
Okay.
So
Make it a train bridge.
yeah, it could be, but it's not going to be.
Okay.
Not to start with anyway,
I try.
because I don't know that it's going to be the same height anyway. if it matches up, that is a possibility for the future.
Mm-hmm. Because you can't run out of things to do.
Oh, I still have Downers Grove to build right here.
Mm-hmm.
I still have tons of detailing to do.
You can always add detailing. They make so many things now that that just weren't made before
I
to
still have
detail.
two rolling stock kits I got to do. I still have the kits for Downers Grove to do. I still have tons of stuff to do. I'm not in any big hurry. So,
Mm.
anyway. Well, we're at 1 hour, John, and I don't have a whole lot else to go through.
No, I don't either. I know I need to get working on stuff.
Steve, you need to have a contest, on what is the super secret build. And then, like every day you could feed another hint, another little tidbit. It doesn't have to be big, all right? And you could drag that out just like Heath does on his unboxings. Hey, Edward, at Happy Valley Hobbies.
Yeah, just do not make it a numerical one that you
Have a good
can't
lunch.
read everything.
Remember, everybody, Anthony's on at 3:30, and I'm going to try to make it. It's usually part of my nap time. But
I got one question before we sign off. Has anybody figured out Jason's math problem?
I did, except for one thing.
Can't read the numbers.
I can't read the number on the Crooked Valley and Eastern. I even sent Dave an email. Hey, Dave, what was the road number for the car you sent to Jason? He says, I don't remember. Damn. And then, how many orange cars there are that are not part of the logo. Well, there's a CB&Q Burlington boxcar, and it looks orange in the video. Well, newsflash, they didn't have any orange cars. They were Chinese red. All right. So how do you count that one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was too many different ifs on that.
Well, I got everything else. It was just those two things. It'd be one number off depending on how the Burlington boxcar was, and then whatever the hell the number was for the Crooked River and Eastern car. I have. I don't think he's got a cutoff date set, Lynn, because it's a subscriber, and I forget what it is. Is it 1,100 or whatever? Subscriber content.
Is it? I thought it was 500. I think
he's up over 1,000. I thought.
Okay, maybe it's 1,500 then.
Yeah, whatever. And he hasn't hit the mark yet.
I gotta go check my door again.
And then it can't. The orange not part of the logo. Well, there's a Clark or the Gulf tank car. All right. Of course, the Gulf is orange, but then the dome on the car is orange too. So I counted it because it was not part of the logo. So. Yeah. I saw, how many patriotic cars were there? Were there 2 or 3? I don't remember. I think there are 3. I know there's a U.S. Navy one. And I think there are 2 others. Well, I'm at like 291 subscribers. And no, I'm not doing a contest. I gave the flats away as my informal 300 subscriber giveaway. So.
Yeah, just my daughter-in-law at the door. So.
Oh, okay. Well, John, we're going to wrap this up.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I knew it. So I'm off by one, Lynn. Shoot me. 291, 292. All right. It's not like I'm racing to 1,000. So I am going to do a special video for my 3-year anniversary, which is like June 26th, something like that.
Steve, is it going to be like your last one where you showed pictures from the start to that 2-year anniversary?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That's good. Because that really shows the progress you've made, especially in this last year and a month since I've been there.
And then I'm gonna have inserts explaining what each scene is and what it means, and why I have the scenes I have, because they're all here for a purpose. Yeah, they're all for a purpose. So anyway.
Proto representative.
Yeah, proto represent photo. Proto represents. I mean, there's a couple things that really don't, like the backwoods brothel. That's make believe. It was just.
Well, I'm sure
that first mini prints of the month, and that was all the stuff I got from it. And then Bernard had the contest, so I entered that, and yeah, it turned out pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm at 400 some videos, 430 something. I don't know.
And you used to put out a lot more videos during the month.
Oh, yeah, I used to do them every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, 435 videos. Yeah, I used to tip of the day every day, and now I've cut it way back to one a week, and then one live stream a week, and then every now and then a pop up, so or extra video.
Yeah.
So anyway, with that, folks, I want to thank you for joining John and I here for Friday Live and Mail Call. Or it's today. Well, we did have a mail call, so anyway.
Yeah. I had my one engine.
You had your one. I'll have, hopefully, Merlin will get my, and Keith will get my package shipped today. If they ship today, I should have it by Thursday for Friday's live stream. And it'll be fun to open because other than 1 or 2 items in there, I don't have a clue. Because that box has been building up since December. So,
and we all know your memory's not too good.
Yeah, it sucks, but that's okay. It's not Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
At least I remember who I am.
Yes.
Right. No silver alerts for me. I can find my way home.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody. I want to thank you for joining us here at the Retirement Railroad, Friday Live and Mail Call. And guess what? Y'all have a great day.
Bye, all.
Bye, everybody.